Zadrizes Buzdari Skosdau.
Okay, so this first part of the video is sort of like a Helaena Targaryen character breakdown. It was requested by one of the Dragon Knights on my executive producer tier over on patreon.com/HuntsReviews. That is, of course, Destiny Phillips, Mixed Queen 420, etc., etc. She's requested a, just sort of like a Helaena profile, right? So we're going to do that. I'm going to and mostly talk about leaks for the remainder of the video. Please, before I jump into any of that, do me a massive favor. Slap a like on this video. Like goal is going to be 420. Also, make sure you're subscribed and turn notifications all the way on. Before we know it, House of the Dragon Season 2 will be done filming, and then we'll be getting it on our TV screens, like, next year. Like, it's already halfway through the year. I told you time was going to fly! Alright, so Helaena Targaryen, right? The Dragon Dreamer, everybody's favorite character. And I'll do a profile, Destiny, right? Everybody else watching this. I'm going to do a profile of her based on book. We don't, we only see her a little bit in Season 1 of House of the Dragon. And honestly, I don't know how much the show will focus on telling her full backstory because there's so many other characters, right? So Helaena was born in 109 AC. And she's obviously the daughter of Alicent, Alicent Hightower and Viserys Targaryen. She's... With her father being the king, she's naturally a princess, right? And she's sort of immediately betrothed to her brother, Aegon II Targaryen. Now, the show kind of made it different, right? They made Helaena a bit more, we'll say, autistically pleasing to the eye, right? But, like, her book counterpart was known to be chunky. She didn't necessarily have dragon dreams. It's kind of a thing that was added for the TV show, but she definitely was considered to be a little bit off, and that's made very apparent and clear in the end in the way that she kills herself, right? So after Blood and Cheese happens, there's rumors, right? So there's hearsay. When Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, I don't even want to say rumors. I feel like her enemies just made it up because Rhaenyra, even in the books, doesn't seem like she would put her stepmother and actual blood sister through this. But basically, there's rumors that, in canon, when Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, she puts Helaena and Alicent in a brothel for a night and just lets dudes, do that. But that probably doesn't happen. That was probably just something that was made up to slander Rhaenyra. Although, on the TV show, I feel like it's definitely not going to happen. That's just not in Rhaenyra's character. Also, the TV show wouldn't add... well, maybe they'll do something like that, I don't know. But anyway, the way that she goes out is after Blood and Cheese happens, so after she witnesses one of her children being murdered, she eventually grows silent. Doesn't really speak. She's like... Remember how she was when Alicent was trying to comfort her in Season 1? Right? Alicent comes up to her and she's like, like basically Aegon had just been caught with that handmaid, and she's like trying to console her, and then Helaena sort of spazzes out, and she's like, "There's a beast beneath the boards!" I wish I could have seen my face. That's basically kind of how Helaena is somewhat in the books. Like, she throws herself out of Maegor's holdfast and dies after about a day of being impaled on the spikes that surround Maegor's holdfast. So Maegor's holdfast is inside the Red Keep. The Red Keep is the castle. Maegor's holdfast is a castle inside of a castle. Maegor built something that even if the outer part of his castle was being, surrounded, he has another castle that he could retreat to and potentially escape the city, because a lot of the tunnels inside the Red Keep and the Tower of the Hand and Maegor's holdfast lead to the countryside and then outside of the city of King's Landing. So, but anyway, Helaena dies by being impaled on the spikes below after jumping from a window. She basically commits suicide. Now, just jumping back a bit, Helena's dragon, Dreamfire, right, literally has dream in the name. So, there are people that could probably come up with a theory that, like, yeah, she was a dreamer in the books, but there's no specific mention of it in Fire and Blood or in World of Ice and Fire. So, if we're basing it off of that, I would just assume that... she wasn't. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Do you think Helaena was a dragon dreamer in the Song of Ice and Fire books? And just wrapping this up, after the death of her son, Jaehaerys, Helaena becomes like a shut-in, right? So then Alicent is the one who raises her other two children, right? Jaehaera and Maelor. Alicent takes over that role of like being a mother because Helena's so distraught. So what actually happens that forces Helaena to kill herself is that supposedly, now like everything in Fire and Blood, in the world of Ice and Fire, those are history books set in the world of Ice and Fire. And because of that, you kind of have to take context clues and then combine it with what we know from the main A Song of Ice and Fire series and do a bit of extrapolating. So with that being the case, there's rumors that after Maelor died, according to Mushroom says that Rhaenyra, she has taken King's Landing. She's queen at this time. And when Maelor dies at Bitterbridge, basically Maelor's ripped apart. He is the king's heir, so he's sent away by the Greens, and he ends up getting caught up by some townsfolk, and his Kingsguard member discovered that he's a dragon. He has a dragon egg on him, and he's a prince. So a bunch of people start fighting over him, and according to rumors, he was ripped apart by the crowd. Right, each member of the crowd that was pulling on him literally pulled him apart. It's terrible. But anyway, his head is sent back to the Red Keep, and according to Mushroom, when Rhaenyra sees it, she immediately starts crying hysterically. But then Rhaenyra's naysayers, Rhaenyra's haters, like the same ones that said that she did the brothel queens, like put Alicent and Helaena in a brothel, right? They say that she sent Maelor's head to Helena's chambers, and once Helaena seen her son's head, she jumped out of the window. So because we don't actually know if Helaena saw Maelor's head or not, one thing that we know for certain is that the news of her son dying obviously made her want to kill herself. So Helena's got an extremely tragic backstory and history, and I hope the way they handle her character moving forward, and how they've already handled her character has been good, but I hope they handle it the right way moving forward, because there's a reason why a lot of people like her as a fan favorite. Okay, so just as a refresher, remember we got some leaked images of Jaehaerys' funeral, right? So that's Alicent's grandson, that's Helaena and Aegon's son, right? Potentially Aemon, depending on if you want to believe the rumors or not. But in those leaked images, as you can see right here, Helaena and Alicent are in mourning clothes, and it's going to be crazy, the fact that this is like a funeral procession, and then also you have Melee's head being paraded through the streets. Like, obviously, that's not going to happen necessarily the same episode, but like it's insane. Like, it's just getting me really excited. But moving on to some more leaks. About, I think at this point, 6 months ago, right? The first couple of plot leaks that I was sent when House of the Dragon Season 2 was technically still being kind of written. They hadn't started filming or pre-production or anything like that. There were several people that sent me. Actually, it was only 2 people, but I think those 2 people are the same person. It's interesting because every time one account likes one of my tweets on Twitter, the second account likes it like within a few seconds. So I think it's the same person that has multiple accounts. But anyway, they sent me a leak that said Cregan's gay. Jaehaerys gay. There's going to be a secret love affair between Cregan and Jaehaerys. And they're going to sort of hint at the idea that Jaehaerys is kind of in love with Cregan. And this is how he's able to convince Cregan to come down south. I don't really know about that. I don't think those rumors are legit. But if you want my thoughts on how I think that would affect the story or anything like that, go and watch my plot leak videos from back in January. I've done so many leaked videos. It's probably mentioned in a few of those, right? And then this is something that's been circulating on Twitter. I'm not really sure why everybody is so willing to believe it, but apparently, they're filming in North Wales right now, right? And there's this dude that has this account that supposedly, right, said that they're filming a scene in which a dude walks towards the ocean and he's looking for his dragon, right? That was mentioned, and then a bunch of rumor sites picked it up. Now, to be fair, I mention fake leaks in my video, I potentially let everybody know, hey, this is probably a load of bullshit. Take it with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed. Literally nothing is confirmed until it airs on our screens. Like, they've done stuff where they've changed scenes around from the trailer before, not just with HBO and Game of Thrones, but also with mad other TV shows. So I always say nothing is confirmed until it airs on our screens, right? Because once we see the final version of the product, well, that's what happened. So, let me know what you think down below. I've shared my opinion on these rumors about, a north, like a dude walking towards a beach with a looking for his dragon. That doesn't even make sense. Like, why would they tell some random person who's taking pictures of their set? Why would they tell them what's being filmed? That's not exactly something they do, right? There's NDAs and stuff. Look, even though we know House of the Dragon is filming, even though we've seen Fia Saban, right, and Olivia Cook playing their characters outside in costume, we know for a fact that it's filming for House of the Dragon Season 2. Like, they still want to keep something secret because not everybody knows that's what they're filming. So why would they tell some random person, hey, this is what we're going to film? Most likely a load of nonsense. Now, to be fair, there probably will be a scene in which a dragon rider is looking for a dragon on the beach. Because here's the thing. That's like what happens with every single dragon seed. I think that's what's so frustrating to me is like they come up with such a vague rumor that the chances of them being right are like, 50% right. Because there's probably will be a scene, Dragonstone, where all of the dragons are, that the dragon seeds claim. Dragon seeds are bastards of Valyrians and Targaryens that can ride dragons, right? The dragon seeds are called into effect at the end of season 2, and they're because the blacks need more dragon riders for all the dragons they have. Like, this is a war, so you want to have as many dragon riders as possible. And it's also setting up the Battle of the Gully. So when that happens, there's several different people that walk out to the beach because remember, Dragonstone is an island. It's a volcanic island. It's surrounded by water on all sides. Dragons are going to hang out at the beach, right? The character's going to walk down to the beach and try to haggle a dragon. If I had to guess, right, it's not a dude. It would probably be Sheepstealer and Nettles, right? Or maybe even Sea Smoke. Like, it could be Sea Smoke when he's getting claimed by Adam of Hull. His brother, Alan Oakenfist, right? He's already been cast and he's being played by Abu Bakr Salim. So it's totally possible that scene's being filmed. It doesn't make sense for HBO to tell some random person who's going to be there filming it what they're filming. Like, you could just look through Fire and Blood, pick some things that happen early in the Dance of the Dragons, and say they're going to be filming those scenes because, yeah, they probably are, right? So anyway, Sea Smoke is likely... Let me just propose an idea for you, right? Of this scene, if it goes down, right? Sea Smoke is probably out by the sea, nesting on the shores of Dragonstone, and Adam of Hull comes out and tries to mount Sea Smoke successfully. Successfully, they do this, right? There's several scenes that involve certain characters trying to mount a dragon to try to help out the blacks. Like, for instance, Mushroom tries to mount the dragon and gets severe burns. Several different people try to mount certain wild dragons and they get their arm bitten off or they get severely burned or even worse, they get killed, right? So yes, there probably will be a scene of someone being filmed on a beach walking towards their dragon trying to claim a mount, but did the North Wales Live get told that from the production crew for House of the Dragon Season 2? No. Anybody who's read Fire and Blood could tell you, oh, yeah. They're probably going to film something like that because there's so many different moments where people are claiming a dragon in Fire and Blood. All right, I'm going to move on because this has got me too worked up. All right, because we're making really good time with this video and I haven't mentioned this plot leak on YouTube yet, I'm going to mention it here. This was a video that I made several months ago. It is exclusive to my Patreon, but quick summary is this person mentions, this is from two different people. I've compiled it together to make it just flow better, right? Person mentions that items like the Targaryen cane used by Viserys will start making appearances. Like, basically HBO wants this to seem like it's one big world. So how they did, you remember what they did with the Cat's Paw Dagger where Arya killed the Night King, and now guess what? It's on Viserys' hip, right? In season 1, and then it's given to Rhaenyra, and then Alicent uses it to try to stab Rhaenyra, right? Like, So apparently this person mentioned that they will try to include these things in future shows. One of these items in particular is going to be a dragon egg that's showcased in Season 2 for House of the Dragon, and it's going to be appearing in the Dunkin' Egg series. So that's awesome, if it's true. Obviously, take all of this with a grain of salt, because it's probably a load of horse shit just designed to, like, intrigue people into thinking the leakers' leaks are real. The only reason why I make a video out of it is because it's entertainment, right? The person goes on to mention that Daeron the Daring appears in episode 2, and he will be on his dragon Tessarion. And then they mention that every episode in Season 2 will have battle sequences, and most of those battle sequences involve some sort of a dragon element. And I remember when I first recorded that for my Patreon, I was like, well, yes, that's one of those things where, like, a man walking towards the sea looking for his drag. Yes, for sure, for sure. There will at least be a battle in most of the episodes. And then this person mentions that when Jace arrives in Winterfell, he will be asked to join Cregan on a hunt. And they say that the scene will have callbacks to when Robert arrived in Winterfell in episode 1, but closer to when Daenerys is in the north. Because the north isn't used to dragons, aside from when Jaehaerys and Alysanne showed up. So it'll, like, the Northmen won't be as inviting, apparently. And then lastly, this person mentions that there will be a subplot involving White Walkers. They mention that they're not sure of the exact details, but Sarah Snow is in fact a warg. She has a pet direwolf that she wargs into. She tries to seduce Jace in order to gain his dragon's trust, and then she will try to warg his dragon and gets a glimpse of Daenerys saving Jon Snow north of the wall. This is what the Pact of Ice and Fire will be. All right, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Obviously, those are all fake. They are interesting ideas. Please let me know what you think about them down below in the comment section. Had a lot of fun making this video. Thank you for watching. Please slap a like on a like. It was going to be 420. Not. Saldrías monarchs on our